How's it going, everyone? Want to give you guys a heads up on an absolutely fantastic historic low PlayStation game deal on the physical side of things. I know, coming off the heels of Black Friday, the holidays, we did a lot of physical game deals. Been kind of quiet in 2026. Let's get back on that. Want to highlight another deal that's not necessarily like a deal per se, but this has been available on Amazon for a while, and it comes in and out of stock. I want to make note of it because the value here is actually crazy relative to the price points that you can pay on the PlayStation Store, so we'll go over that and some other deals available right now as well. There is a Square Enix sale on Best Buy. So, first of all, absolutely awesome deal. Persona 3 Reload is down to $15.50 over on Amazon. This is a phenomenal pickup. You know, it's been kind of settling at that $20 range, but getting it for $15 and change is outstanding. Persona 3 is a great game. I know that as far as my reception of Persona, sometimes people think that I'm a little bit down on the franchise. Look, I just don't get into Persona as much as a lot of other people. Like, I've talked to people that get so into Persona that they're cosplaying as the characters, they're doing multiple playthroughs of multiple of the games, which is just like hundreds and hundreds of hours. Look, I know the Persona fandom goes super deep, and for me, I just don't get that deep into Persona. I play through all the games, I enjoy them, and then I move on with my life. But Persona 3 I thought was a great time. Now, this is a faithful remake of Persona 3. It has some quality of life improvements, but, you know, there are elements of it that are still a little bit dated, like the design of the Tartarus and whatnot, but still, game is phenomenal, story is great, characters are likable, soundtrack is phenomenal. Like, Burn in My Dread is one of the goated tracks as far as JRPGs go. There's a lot of good tracks in the game in general, but yeah, it is a great game, and for $15 and change, an 80-hour game here, you kidding me? That's fantastic. It would be great if we got some sort of complete edition release on disc that had episode Aegis baked into it, but what can you do? $15.50 on that, great pickup there. Definitely recommend it, and we'll see how Persona 4 Revival goes. Hopefully that comes out by the end of this year, and then maybe Persona 6 finally gets revealed by the end of this year. You know, I'm kind of tired of the remakes and whatnot. Not necessarily that they're a bad thing, but man, it's been how long since Persona 5? This year will be 9 years or 10 years since the Japanese release, I believe, so let's get on that as soon as possible, ideally. Next up, I do want to make note of this. Dark Souls the Trilogy is $39.23 on Amazon. So what does this include? It includes Dark Souls Remastered, Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin, and Dark Souls 3 The Fire Fates. Oh, and by the way, you've got all of the original soundtracks for the 3 games as well. Why is this such a good deal at $39.23? As you guys might know, the Dark Souls games have been juiced up in price to the heavens on all digital storefronts. It's not just PlayStation Store. These games are incredibly expensive because Bandai Namco knows that they can charge a premium for these games and people will still buy them. Dark Souls 1 is $19.99 on sale. These are on sale prices. The standard prices are double these prices. They go on sale 50% off, but the on sale price for Dark Souls 1 is $19.99. The on sale price of Dark Souls 2 is $19.99. The on sale price of Dark Souls 3 is $29.99. Oh, but by the way, if you want Dark Souls 3 with all of the DLC, open up your wallet and get ready to pay $42.50 because the standard price is $85 for the deluxe edition. The Fire Fades edition includes both the DLC episodes as well, so you get that content on top of that. So just the digital price point of Dark Souls 3's deluxe edition is more than this Trilogy collection, and you get Dark Souls 1 and 2 as well. If you don't have any of the games, this is a phenomenal pickup for all the value that you're getting. Now, there is the rumblings that Dark Souls 3 might get a remastered release at some point. I'm not here to talk about that. What I do know is Dark Souls 1 goes for $20. Dark Souls 2 goes for $20. Dark Souls 3 goes for $42.50 for the deluxe edition. That, in totality, is over $80. Here you can get the Trilogy for $39.23. That's all I'm saying, and by the way, you do get free delivery with Prime on that, even though it's got the Peggy 16 logo on it, so it's coming from the Bandai Namco store, so, like, you'll get it, it's great value, and yeah, I'm just trying to have you guys, if you want to play Dark Souls, maybe a lot of you guys played Elden Ring, enjoyed it, you want to circle back and play the older FromSoft games, and you don't want to pay an arm and a leg on the PlayStation Store, this is a pretty darn good way to do so, so thought I would give mention to that. All right, circling back to another Persona team title, Metaphor ReFantazio is $25.56, a historic low price point on this as well. Kind of settled into that $30 range. Now it's finally down to $25.56. I do often say that I do like Metaphor better than the Persona games, and some people vehemently disagree with me on that. I just really dug Metaphor from a setting standpoint. I thought the setting was great. I thought the story was awesome, had a great main antagonist, had a great cast of characters that if you do their side story arcs, I feel like they have a lot of depth to them as well. Heisme is the GOAT, but nonetheless, Metaphor is a fantastic game with a great soundtrack as well, by the way. Like, some of these tracks are so good that I have them downloaded on my phone and listen to them regularly, but yeah, just a great game. And narratively, I thought it was really good, man. I thought a lot of the game, metaphorically, was done really well. Visual style was great, and the plot twists and whatnot, yeah, if you pay attention, you can kind of see it coming a mile away, but I think that's rewarding. Pay attention to the game, and you're rewarded by that by seeing some of the threads unfolding before they actually unfold, and before you actually see them come to light. I thought it was a really well done game, man, and the turn-based combat had a lot of depth to it. I would highly recommend it at 25 and change. Super lengthy game, so keep that in mind, but yeah, good price point on that. I do want to give a shout out to S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl. It is 19% off for $48.50. Keep in mind, this is one of those games where a very little amount of the content is on disc, and you got to do the mandatory download. I know how you guys feel about that. I still prefer that over a game being digital only. Why is that? Because I still have the option to trade the game in, I still have the option to lend the game to a friend, and I can still have somebody else play the game that way. There's still more value into a game like S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 or even the game key cards on Nintendo Switch not having all of the content on disc or on card versus having the game just totally digital. That's just my 2 cents. Like, I have Indiana Jones physically on PlayStation 5, and I'm very happy about that. And also, go look at the price point on Indiana Jones on PlayStation 5. Some of these games still hold up in price, even though not all the content is on disc. So just throwing that out there for you guys. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is a game that I initially played on PC when it came out, and I had a good time with it. It was a buggy mess on PC, but I was still able to make my way through it and had a good time with it. But yeah, $48.50 on that. I would probably wait for it to get cheaper and, you know, maybe have a version with all the DLC if you can buy that digitally. But, yeah, $48.50 on that. Then we do have Sonic Racing CrossWorlds, $39.99 on this. Saw that this recently broke 1 million copies sold, so congrats on them for that. But really well-received kart racer and $40 on this. These Sega titles tend to go on sale fairly quickly, and this is another one that when it came out at 70 bucks, there was like some, you know, criticism towards that, but now it's available for 40. It was available for like 30 at GameStop for a hot minute for Black Friday. I want to say it was GameStop, but that went out of stock like in seconds. So it is what it is. $40, still a great price on that. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is $30, which I would still say is a pretty good buy. I really enjoyed Sparking Zero. I've made my opinion pretty clear on this game where I thought it was a worthwhile game, and, you know, I didn't have the expectations that it was going to be this game that was going to revolutionize fighting games, and I was going to be into it from a competitive standpoint for eons, but, yeah, 30 bucks on that, I think, is pretty good. Then we do have Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection. If you want more of a traditional collection of fighting games, you know, $19 will get you MVC2, and a bunch of other games, which is pretty darn good. And then lastly, there is a Square Enix sale over at Best Buy. No blowaway deals here, but Octopath Traveler 0 is $10 off for $39.99. Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D, $25 off for $35. Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD is $49.99, which I would say is pretty good. FF7 Rebirth is $35. Final Fantasy Tactics is $39.99. You know, some pretty good deals, all things considered. So I'll leave a link to that in the description box below as well. But that's going to do it for me. Mainly wanted to highlight the Persona 3 deal, but then I also saw the Dark Souls deal, and man, it's just like, some of us have to pay, like, an egregious amount if you want that game digitally, so I think that's the better route to go, all things considered. But links to everything in the description box below. If you do buy anything, we get an affiliate kickback, which is much appreciated. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Sound off there. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.